and look forward to a better tomorrow.
This is our time.
Hello and welcome to Kent Clearing Advice Live. As we approach results day tomorrow, many of you will probably have questions about how clearing works or about the University of Kent itself. Well, over the next hour we've got staff and students on hand to help answer your questions, which you can send in via the YouTube or Facebook live comment section on screen, whichever stream you're watching us on right now. We're all still observing social distancing, of course, so let me introduce our panellists who are dotted all around. Joining us virtually today are Recruitment Officer Naomi Fleet, plus two Kent students who came via clearing, Nicola Aghini and Jasmine Demjan. Thank you all for being here with us today. Let's begin and head over straight to Recruitment Officer Naomi Fleet to explain what will be going on through the clearing process. Over to you, Naomi.
Thank you so much. Okay, so clearing is how universities and colleges fill any places that they have left on their courses. It's open from the 5th of July to the 19th of October. But over results day, obviously people are getting their results come through, mostly in the UK. And that means that you might not have met the conditions for your offer, for your firm or your insurance offer, which means you might be released into clearing and want to apply to some vacancies that we have left. There's also other reasons that you might come through clearing. You might have taken a gap year and want to apply to university to come this year. That's absolutely fine. Or it might be other reasons, such as you just want to change the university that you originally decided on, even if you've gotten into your firm or insurance choice. So there's plenty of reasons why you might be applying through clearing. And at the University of Kent, we're happy to be available with vacancies through clearing. And we'd love to hear from you if you're interested in studying with us.
Absolutely, that's what this is all about, sending in your questions so that we can get those answered. Thank you very much for that intro, Naomi. Jasmine, let's head over to you now. You obviously went through clearing, hence why you're here with us. Tell us a little bit about that experience and how you decided to come to Kent.
Essentially got my results, and I actually did have what I needed to go to the uni that I thought I wanted to go to, so I had an unconditional scholarship offer to study law in London. But when I got my results, I kind of realised I didn't actually feel very excited about that particular uni. So I released myself into clearing and I started looking around and I saw Kent and they had this course that was perfect for me. And yeah, from there on, I just kind of decided to go to Kent instead.
And now that you've been here, what has that experience been like? Do you think that's kind of justified your decision to come to Kent?
It's made me is a good uni for me because it's helped me sort of develop my CV as well. So now I know what I want to do after university.
Brilliant. It's giving you that kind of that platform to go further. Thanks, Jasmine. Similarly for you, Nicola, also going through the clearing process. How was that process for you? What was your experience of clearing like?
Hi, yeah, for me, it was kind of like the opposite from Jasmine. So mine was unexpected. I wasn't aware that I was going to be in clearing until the morning of results day. So it wasn't what I initially planned. But once I applied to Kent, I remember it being quite an easy process. Like less than an hour, I'd received the offer back that I can go into Kent. And even the next day, I got my accommodation. So things just worked out quite well after that. So yeah, it was good in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, same question I asked Jasmine for you. Now that you've had some time to reflect and you've been at Kent, what has that experience of Kent been like for you?
Honestly, it's nothing that I could have thought that would have happened. I'm really, really happy that I ended up coming at Kent. Like, my expectation was literally on the floor when I was coming. But thankfully, I've just been able to make friends. I've been able to do different things that I didn't expect I was going to be able to do. So yeah, it's been very, very good experience since I've been here.
I think that's something that we're going to reflect on definitely in the question section, which is going to come up shortly. But just another one for you, Nicola. I think there's going to be a lot of students who are watching this who are going to have a little bit of trepidation about the process, about going to uni. Quite a few maybe with some anxiety about it. What would you have to say to them to kind of reassure them and know that it's going to be a good experience for them wherever they do end up going?
Yeah, I would just say, like, for anybody who's feeling a bit anxious or worried, like, everyone literally feels the exact same. So don't feel like you're alone in this process. Because honestly, even when I remember, I was also like very afraid and anxious too. But know that when you do come to university, you will find your people. If there's anything you're worried about, like academics, like people are always there to help you. Your lecturers are there to help you. So there's literally, when I'm looking back, there's nothing to honestly be afraid of. But you've actually got this. So that's what I would say for anyone who's worried.
Thanks indeed for that, Nicola. Like I said, we're going to have plenty more questions to come. And remember that if you at home have any questions about clearing or indeed Kent itself, you can send those in via the live comment section on YouTube and Facebook. However, indeed, you're watching. We'll be back shortly to answer those questions. But here's a couple of short videos from Sasha and Neve, two recent graduates.
My name is Sasha Langeveld. I studied philosophy. On results day, I decided to change the degree that I actually applied for, and the university that I went to didn't actually offer the degree that I wanted to do. So I went back home with my friend, and he said, you should apply for clearing. And I had no clue what it was. And then I applied to a lot of other universities, and the University of Kent came up for philosophy. I moved in. I never knew anybody, so I came here alone, and suddenly there was a lot of change happening all at once. And when I say back then, I wasn't accustomed to change, so I really just felt quite out of my depth, really. And I struggled a lot in my first year or my first semester. And then when I came back after Christmas, I just kind of thought to myself, university is really what you make of it. So I actually started to get more involved because I didn't really know that many people. I needed to start first off with like a basis of finding people who had similar interests to myself. And through that, I managed to get more political. And I don't think I realized how political I was until I came to university. And it is very exciting. I remember my first protest, I was so excited. And it's really good to just meet people who are like-minded, like yourself, and are in for the same cause. For me, the way that I see university is it is a journey. It's not always about just the academics, and I think a lot of people do sometimes see university as just academics and learning and teaching, but learning comes in many different forms, and I have definitely grown as a person coming to university. So I feel like if you want to have the opportunity to come to Kent and you didn't initially get that, then definitely go through clearing. It's just a different opportunity in another way.
Hi, my name is Neve and I study business and management with a year in industry at Kent. So on results day, I obviously didn't get the results I expected, and I was really disappointed at first. And then I came home and I was very upset, and I had to think through my options of what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go to uni anymore or whether I wanted to go into working. I'd say the predominant thing was that they actually made the effort to speak to me personally rather than just emailing me. They let me speak to someone quite high up who was really comforting, and the course that I wanted to do, I had a look at the modules and I was really interested. Also, I really wanted to do a year in industry. I actually got one myself at Microsoft, which was really good. I'm on the Medway campus at Kent, so I got accommodation quite easily at Liberty Keys, and it was really nice. I had a room with an ensuite, and the links were all on the Kent website, so it was very easy to organise, and you get to request how many people of each gender you want to live with as well, which was nice. Personally, a favourite highlight of mine is the society I'm in, which is the Medway Amateur Dramatic Society. I joined in first year and I made loads of friends, all in different courses in different years, which was really nice because I feel like it was quite hard to branch out if you don't join a society, so I'm really glad I did. The main piece of advice I would give is don't underestimate yourself just because you've received news you weren't expecting on that day. Evaluate all your options and have a look at the support networks. Kent is really good for support, which I found really helpful on clearing because it's a really scary time. But just really have a think about what you want to do and make sure that you definitely make the right choice for you, which hopefully is at Kent.
I chose to study business and management with a year in industry, and I actually took a year out after finishing college, finishing my A-levels, and decided to use that year to work and also look at different universities to go to. I originally chose Swansea as my first choice, but after some months I found out about Kent. I hadn't actually originally applied there because I didn't think I had the grades to go there. When I found out I did, I asked Swansea to release me from my offer, and so that I could get a clearing code to apply to Kent. It was more a case of just me remembering to apply once clearing actually opened. The main thing that really attracted me to studying at the University of Kent was the two campuses that they've got here. You've got the amazing Canterbury campus with a mixture of traditional and state-of-the-art buildings overlooking Canterbury City, which is terrific. And then the Medway campus on the historic dockyard is also stunning. I've absolutely loved my time at the University of Kent. I've been given numerous opportunities to take part in extracurricular activities such as being on the football team, being a student ambassador, organising large events on campus, and the university have also supported me in successful applications for both my placement year and also when applying to graduate schemes. My course is predominantly based on the Medway campus, and if you're at Medway, the main sort of halls of residence there is a place called Liberty Quays. They've always got room without fail, and it's genuinely a really nice student accommodation. Make sure you find the time to try and visit the university's campus before making any firm decisions about what university you want to go to via clearing. I know it can feel very stressful and you might feel rushed when it comes to applying via clearing, but I think it's so important to go to the university and get an idea of what it's going to be like there.
Tim's story there, as well as Sasha and Neve's. Just some of the many stories of those who've come through clearing and come to Kent. Thank you, obviously, to you all at home for watching Kent Clearing Live. And obviously, a big thank you as well to all of you who've sent in questions. We've got a slew of questions that are coming in thick and fast about clearing and about Kent itself. Naomi, let's come to you first. We've had a question in saying, is there a certain amount of unis advised to apply for through clearing? I guess, is there a max you can apply for or a minimum you can apply for? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so there isn't a maximum amount that you can apply for. Some universities will have different policies on this, so do double check with the university that you're applying to. But at Kent, you can apply to lots of different courses at our university, and there's no issue with you applying to other universities as well through clearing.
That about unis. We've had another question as well, specifically about accommodation at Kent, saying, can we stay, once they've chosen Kent, can they stay for a week in college accommodation, in Wolf's College is the one that they've cited here, and then shift to other accommodation? So I guess they're kind of asking, is there a sort of a try before you buy kind of approach to accommodation?
So there's not necessarily a try before you buy once you've been allocated your accommodation. So how it works if you apply through clearing is you select that you'd be interested in having accommodation on campus. We'll allocate that to you once we receive your application that you'd like that, and we've accepted you onto that course. And then you'd be in that accommodation. If you're really unhappy with that accommodation, you can contact the accommodation team and speak to them about it and see if there's anywhere else that they can move it to. But it's not necessarily try before you buy exactly.
Accommodation obviously is a key part of that student experience. There's loads of elements of it. You've got societies, you've got going out and doing extracurricular in the area, checking out the area that you're living in. Jasmine, for you, about the kind of the student experience, tell us a little bit about what have been some of the highlights for you from your time at Kent.
For me, it really was the friendships that I made, but also the sort of personal achievements that I managed to sort of obtain at Kent. So I had a lot of support with building my CV. I applied to a part-time job and gained some skills with that. And I think as well, just meeting the people that I lived with in the first year, they were really lovely people. And I think that I've made sort of friends for life in that sense, just going out and experiencing the like nightlife and just bonding with people. Yeah, I think that really was the highlight for me, just sort of growing as a person with the help of Kent.
You talked about first year and those people that you live with, and we've obviously just had that question about accommodation. For I'd imagine most of those who are watching this and sending questions in, it's going to be the first time that they live independently. What was that jump like for you from living at home to living in halls?
I'm not going to say that it was a really smooth transition. I didn't worry at all. I was a little bit nervous to live with what were essentially strangers, but from the offset, everyone was really keen to sort of get to know each other, I think, because we were all in the same boat. So within 15 minutes of having moved my stuff into my room, I had my flatmates like knocking on my door, being like, hey, do you want to go downstairs? We had like a common room in Liberty Keys where we would hang out, and we played some table tennis. And it was actually really nice getting to know people and have that independence. And we all kind of helped each other out. We even went grocery shopping together and stuff like that the first few times, just to sort of get a feel for the area together. So it was actually very nice having those people to live with and get to know the area with.
Nicola, for you, Jasmine was talking about that adjustment there. How did you find that, and what was your experience of student digs for the first time?
Yeah, mine was quite similar. At first, it was kind of like rocky to like adjust to it, but thankfully, with the people that I lived with, it was just a much easier experience, and I got to bond with them. To this day, I'm still friends with like people from my first year flat. Even second year, I was able to move in with my friends that I made over the course of the year. So even like throughout like lockdown and things like that, when we weren't able to go out as much, we could still do things on the inside. We'd cook together, we'd watch movies and stuff. So it's been good having like people around and stuff.
That you talk about, Nicola, are so key to that, because you are all strangers, you are all in that same boat, and having the ability to go do societies or to cook together, that must be really key to that kind of that bonding and getting to know your fellow students.
It really is key, like just the time to have with each other. I believe even in the beginning of the year, even though lockdown and stuff was still happening, Kent still organized like a lot of like games and things we could do. There was like a haunted house thing we could do, and an escape room as well. So you could go as like a whole house unit. You can go together. So there's just different things you can get up to. Even like, we don't know exactly how it's going to be like in September, but there's things that are going to be definitely be able to be done on campus as well. So yes, it's a lot to look forward to.
You're far braver than me taking on a haunted house, I tell you. Other questions we've had coming in. We've had one from Aisha here. She said, if you're offered a course change on UCAS, are you allowed to speak to the uni to maybe still do your original planned course? It's quite an intricate question there from Aisha. Naomi, what would you have to say to Aisha about that?
Yes, of course, you can contact the university to see what they can offer you. But if they have declined you on your original offer, they probably have reviewed your requirements and everything like that. So it might be unlikely that they would offer you the exact same course that you were interested in originally. But there may be other courses that you might like at the university that you may be eligible for. So do give us a ring and we'll see what we can do for you in terms of other courses that are available.
I mean, you kind of answered the follow-up question that we had, which was, are you allowed to reapply for courses you'd previously declined? That might be slightly different, but what are you allowed to reapply to courses you previously declined?
There isn't anything stopping you from applying for courses that you've already been declined on. However, it's unlikely that you would be accepted for that course. So what I would suggest is to apply to multiple different courses, maybe some joint honours, and see what your options are in terms of that. But the school is most likely already read over your application, had a look at your qualifications if you've been declined for that course. So it's probably better to have a look at other courses that you might be eligible for in that case.
Thanks, Naomi, and thanks obviously to all of you at home for sending in those questions. We've got plenty of time to answer any more that you have, so keep them coming in on YouTube and on Facebook as well. Naomi, just sticking with you, it's clearings, we always see annually in the papers and in the press. It's an incredibly busy and hectic time. To give it a little bit of context, when students receive an offer, do they have time to mull it over, or is there a lot of time pressure because there's other students in the same boat as them? Do they have time to consider their next move?
Absolutely, they do have time to think about it. Once they receive their offer, we will give them a deadline of when they need to reply to us by. And it is important that you do come back to us in this time frame. That's just so that if other people are waiting to apply to the university and you're kind of holding that place, that we make sure we make that place available if that's not something that you want to do. But you will have time to, of course, research the university, get in touch with us if you want. And also we're running some campus tours this year that will be available for you to come and have a look at the campus if you'd like to do that.
And tell us a little bit more about the procedure, how students actually go about confirming their place. As I said, we see those images every year of the phone banks and all those, all those phones lit up with students calling in. Is it a process that's done over the phone? Is it a digital process? Tell us a little bit more about that process.
Okay, no problem. So basically, once you've applied, so usually how you would apply to the University of Kent, and different universities will have different ways of applying. But at Kent, we'd like you to come on to our website at kent.ac.uk/clearing. You can submit your application on there. So it's really easy to do so. You go through our online form and you can submit that there. Once we've received your application, we've got offer makers who will be sending through the offers that we'd like to make you. So you'll hopefully hear back really soon once you've submitted that application. Then once you've heard back from us, if we've accepted you onto that course, you'll need to refer yourself on UCAS Track. So log into your UCAS portal and refer yourself using the course code and also the institution code. And then all of that will be checked by our admissions team. We'll match up your applications to make sure you've got all the correct results that you submitted on your online form. And that's the process in terms of how to apply and what happens next.
It's good. It's really good for those who are going to be tackling it tomorrow to just have a bit of an idea of what they're going to be going through. Munya's sent in a question. How do course electives work? Naomi, we'll stick with you for that one.
Course electives.
That is what I've had sent in. I guess she's talking about if you've gone through clearing and picking the modules that you want on courses. Is that something that you do as part of
the module choice afterwards?
Module choices, yeah. Is that something that goes as part of the clearing process, or is it something that is done already internally with the uni when you get there, I guess?
No problem. Okay, so basically, when you're applying, you'll just be choosing your course. And then once you've received your offer, we'll get in touch with you again to go through all those registration details. You'll receive an email in order to choose your modules and everything like that if you've got options in your first year.
Yeah, and for you, Nicola, as well, with the course that I haven't actually asked you what course you took. With the course that you decided doing, did you feel you had all the information on hand on the day, or was there stuff that maybe you wish you'd known, and that those who are going through clearing this year, maybe you'd advise them to have those questions at the ready for when they go through that process?
Yeah, so I studied sociology and social policy. So that was what I wanted to study, and I was still able to study once I came to Kent. And I remember very vividly that we got an email and we got an account, and we were able to log in. And once we were able to log in, we were able to see all the modules we had for the year, and then begin to select any optional modules if needed. And then also, when we first came into our first week of school, my school does like a week of introduction. So literally goes through every single thing that is a part of your course, or what you need to know, how it's going to run, all the information you need for the beginning of first term and for the rest of the term. They let you know on that first week. So I would recommend just make sure you have your pen and paper, write every single thing down that you need to know. They will let you know everything during that week, and yeah, that's from there you'll be set good for the rest of the year.
And Jasmine, for you as well, I mean, we heard a little bit about the course and the experience there for Nicola. For you, Jasmine, what course was it that you took, and that you'd maybe wish that you'd known a bit more about going in, and maybe that those going through the process this year could maybe keep an eye out on, or keep a finger on the pulse for before they come here?
So the course that I study is criminal justice and criminology, and the course itself is really what drew me to Kent, because I was initially going to do law, and then I realised that I was really only interested in criminal law. But for me, I think it was very easy to get all the information that I needed, because on the Kent website, every single course that they provide has every single detail you need to know just there ready to view for even like the members of the public. So I knew that in the first year, for example, I wouldn't really get to pick my modules. I'd do all my compulsory in the first year, and then I'd get to choose in the second and third years what I really wanted to hone in on. I think the one thing I wish I had researched a bit more is that my module is taught on the Medway campus, and when I applied through clearing, I didn't realise quite how far away the Medway campus is from the Canterbury campus. But you do get a free coach, like a bus there and back from Canterbury to Medway. So essentially, you kind of get two campuses for the price of one. So that wasn't really an issue in the end.
Have quite a lot to offer, and very diverse things to offer as well, which is what I want to come on to next, because obviously those watching, and you guys as well, when you went through the process, you want to get those grades and you want to get the degree, and that is ultimately what you're working towards. But there's also the experience is a key part of it as well, and it's the area, and it's the activities that you can get up to. Jasmine, for you, tell us a little bit about that kind of that holistic experience, what that has kind of given to you. I mean, you said already that the kind of experience has helped you grow as a person, but tell us a little bit about what prospective students can maybe expect from Kent. Give a little bit of a flavour of what they could expect coming here.
So from the offset of Freshers Week, there was sort of an array of things put in front of you that you could join, so societies and then just deals in the area. One thing that most first year students get really involved in is sort of the clubbing element of first year. So we'd have student nights that we'd go to, and places that would do student discounts, which the university sort of partnered with. I think for me as well, the key thing that the university helped me with is I joined the work study scheme. Which is a scheme that essentially sends you email alerts when there's a new job you can do at Kent. They check your CV for you. They help you sort of gain employability points. And for me, they've helped me sort of tailor my CV, sort of construct my CV, and also just get more work experience. And then I also got a part-time job in the local area. And I think that's kind of how the University of Kent has helped me to sort of build my CV and sort of grow as a person.
probably just not to worry too much. Like, I've been anxious about this for weeks, and then it all basically just sorted itself out within 12 hours. So rest assured, it will turn out right.
I would say if you're applying to clearing, stay calm. That is the first thing. It is not as scary as you may think it is. Get on the phone straight away and be calm. Instead of worrying about what you didn't get, worry about what you did get.
The main piece of advice I would give is don't underestimate yourself. Just because you've received news you weren't expecting on that day, it doesn't mean that you haven't achieved a lot of good things. And make sure you choose somewhere that you feel is going to suit your needs.
You just have to do what is right for you, and really believe in yourself, because I think that's where it all has to start. You have to give yourself the opportunity to take all these great things that come to you, and you need to believe that you can take them, I guess.
Make sure you find the time to try and visit the university's campus before making any firm decisions about what university you want to go to via clearing. I know it can feel very stressful and you might feel rushed when it comes to applying via clearing, but I think it's so important to go to the university, get a feel of the place, check out some of the buildings. You don't need to go to an official open day or applicant day. Just go and visit there one afternoon or one day and get an idea of what it's going to be like there.
My advice to anyone going through clearing is not to really panic. A lot of universities will have plenty of clearing spaces because it is your chance to pick the uni that you want. You're not just grabbing up the first uni that will take you. Have a look around and then you will find a uni that you love. And like I did, I ended up at the uni that I wanted to be at in the end. So yeah, just don't panic and plan your day and you'll be fine.
Seriously, don't stress out. I know it feels like it is the end of the world, but literally just don't stress out as much because everything will work out. Everything happens for a reason anyway. So everything will work out. Not in the way that you would expect it to work out, but it will.
The joys of remoting in, eh? There was a few technical gremlins. We've hopefully got them sorted now. I hope you can all hear me again. Jasmine, I did hear the end of your answer. I don't think you heard my next question, possibly. So we'll come back onto that, which is obviously a big part of uni is, and you were talking about your experience of Medway. A big part of uni is that experience outside of the course. We obviously, everyone is trying to go for that degree and trying to work towards that. But a big part is the experience as well. What have you, to give those watching a little bit of a flavour of Kent and life at Kent, maybe tell us about some of the activities you got up to, some of the things that were on offer, what the areas were like. Maybe just give us a little bit of a flavour about that, Jasmine.
So Medway campus is situated sort of Gillingham, Chatham, which is linked to Rochester. So Medway is Gillingham, Chatham, Rochester. Rochester High Street is essentially a ton of like clubs, bars, that kind of stuff. There's two main clubs that everyone goes to. One of them is called Tappington. They do student night, so that's just like the local area. There's plenty of restaurants like right next to the campus. There's like a multiplex with like a Nando's, and then it's got like a cinema, bowling alley, those kind of things. I think a lot of people do get involved in societies. There were so many advertised at freshers that I literally didn't know which one to pick. I ended up not going to them just simply because I needed to focus on my studies and my part-time job. But I don't think I really missed out, because then I ended up making a lot of friends at my part-time job and on my course anyway, and my flatmates. But I think the whole university experience is just having so many things available to you and just picking and choosing what suits you and your time frame and sort of your studies as well. And I think that's how you sort of experience university, just by picking what interests you, because there's so much available.
Something for everyone. Nicola, for you, we heard a bit about the Medway campus. Were you by any chance on the Canterbury campus?
Yes.
Would you tell us a little bit about that? Give us, because both very different campuses, both with very different things to offer. Give us a little bit about a taster about the Canterbury campus.
Yeah, Canterbury campus is very beautiful. Canterbury City in general is very beautiful. Like the campus is very nice. Even just to take a walk is a beautiful thing to do. There's a lot of things to get up to as well. We have our own club on campus. It's called Venue. So a lot of the times you can just go out as friends, or you can meet people there as well. I believe there's R&B Fridays. Even on campus, we also have a cinema on campus. So if you want to just watch a movie with your friends, you can do that. We have a town center as well, so there's a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of things to get into. There's even more nightclubs outside of campus as well. Or if it's just that you just want to be with your friends and just hang around on campus, there's so much greenery space. It's really nice. So yeah, there's a lot of things to get up to in Canterbury.
Yeah, lots to get up to in Canterbury. And another thing that's really key, I think, and maybe really attractive for a lot of students is the proximity to London as well. There's good network links with transport, and then obviously into London you can get anywhere else in the UK as well. Is that something that you found has been beneficial, Nicola, is having those links to London as well?
100%, because there was always times when I'd have to, let's say, go to my friend's birthday on the weekend and she studied in London, or just little things like that. And there's a fast train, I believe, from Canterbury to London. So sometimes in like less than an hour, you'd be back in London. So it's super, super easy to get from one place to another. Just book your ticket in advance so that it's not too pricey. But apart from that, like, you're literally so good.
Yeah, so really those links being really important as well. And Naomi, let's come back to you. We talked a little bit about accommodation earlier as well. One question that we get a lot sent in around this time of year ahead of clearing is about bursary scholarships, all things finances. Are those sorts of things available? What do students have to do to find out about them? Are they on offer in clearing, for example? What more can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So if you already applied to Student Finance England through your main scheme application and now you're going through clearing, you will need to get in contact with them to let them know that you changed institution, if that's what you've done. Once you've accepted your place in clearing, you'll need to sign into your student finance account, and you can basically do it through there. So you can make all the changes that you need to on that. But I believe they've also got their own phone number that you can ring if there's anything you want to talk to them about in a bit more detail. It's important that you do this just so they know about any changes that are happening, whether that be what course you're studying, what university you're studying at, or even if you've decided to either stay at home or move to stay in a university accommodation, and that's what wasn't on your original application. In terms of bursaries, most full-time students will be automatically assessed for a bursary. It's linked to your student finance application, but in some certain circumstances, you might need to make your own application. So it's worth going on and checking online to see whether you need to do this. If you're applying to Kent and you have any questions, just email financialaid@kent.ac.uk.
And on the subject of questions as well, we've touched on it a few times in today's event, that there's going to be a lot of students that will have plenty of questions about Kent, about life at Kent, about everything from bursaries to the accommodation. And I think it's just to kind of blow the trumpet for Kent a little bit. It's something that Kent is really proud of, is it does have those people there to answer those questions, and really everyone kind of, that does culminate tomorrow when everybody's helping out for clearing. And I think it's something that prospective students should be aware of, is that there is someone to answer all of their questions that they have prior to uni and while they're here, and even when they become alumni and leave, Naomi. It's really crucial to have that community there.
Absolutely. Kent has a fantastic community. I was a student at Kent myself, and I've stayed on as a staff member because I love it so much. But during clearing, we've got our hotline open. You can give us a ring if you have any questions. Equally, there's loads of information on our website that you can go and check out. And if you need to be put in touch with a specific team, we'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
Jasmine and Nicola, I'm going to come to you next. We'll start with you, Nicola, because we're just coming to the end of today's Clearing Advice Live. What what top tips and what advice would you give to prospective students ahead of tomorrow?
So ahead of tomorrow, I would just say, just keep calm. Don't stress too much. Whatever happens, it's meant to happen for a reason. So when you see your results, be proud of whatever is on the page, or when you get it, because you worked hard for it, regardless of whether it's like what you expected or not. And yeah, you've got this. Regardless of where you think you're going to as well, even if it's not the uni that you think it's going to be, or if it is the uni that you think it's going to be, just be proud of what you've achieved and getting to this point. So yeah, that's what I would say.
And especially in this year as well, it's been a really unprecedented 18 months, and everything that students and prospective students have had to cope with. I think that's a really important message to get across, Nicola. Jasmine, for you, what tips and advice would you have for those students who are going to go through the clearing process?
Well, no matter how you end up at the uni you go to, everyone ends up in the same place. So I wouldn't feel disappointed if you have to go into clearing. It's just another opportunity. And I think it's also a really good time to reflect what your aspirations are, what you think you're going to do in the future, and what the universities available can offer you. It's actually quite exciting if you just sort of bypass the fear and then think, okay, well, how can I use this to my advantage? And so I really would just say to anyone going into clearing, just really use the opportunity to end up in a good place for you, and good luck to everyone, really.
Yeah, biggest of luck, and it's from your stories, Jasmine and Nicola. I think it really is going to fill those with confidence going into clearing tomorrow. Just to hear how passionately and enthusiastically you've spoken about your time at Kent. Naomi, a couple of final remarks from you. Again, same as I've asked Jasmine and Nicola. What advice would you impart to guys ahead of tomorrow?
Absolutely. I'd reiterate what Nicola and Jasmine have said. Keep calm. And if you do have any questions, please get in touch with us. We are here to help. We want to make this as smooth a transition as possible for you. We want to make sure that you're aware of all the vacancies that we have available. My advice would be apply as soon as you can. And then if we do ask any evidence from you, then get that to us as soon as you can as well. But just remain calm. Look to your teachers and advisors for advice as well. Speak to lots of people, do as much research as you can, and best of luck with your application.
And just finally, Naomi, those watching, where can they find out more information about Kent Clearing?
Just if you go to kent.ac.uk/clearing, we've got our phone number on there, email address, and also a guide to clearing. So just to give you a bit of background information on how you can apply to clearing at Kent.
Naomi, Jasmine, Nicola, thank you all so much for your wise words. For everyone watching, that's about all we've got time for, and hopefully we've answered all your questions at home about the process and about the place of Kent, a really exciting place that we'll hope to see you here very soon. And thanks, of course, to you watching at home for sending in all those fantastic questions. You can find out more by going to www.kent.ac.uk/clearing. We've got a couple of short videos showcasing the Canterbury and Medway campuses next. But that's all from me here. On behalf of everyone at the University of Kent, we wish you all the very best of luck tomorrow and hope to see you here in the very near future. Goodbye.
Hi, my name is Olga. Welcome to the University of Kent's Canterbury campus. So this is Templeman Library. It's got so much study spaces for you and your friends to get some work done. It's got over 1 million books and journals for you to do your work, and also the library staff are a dedicated team of people to help you and answer any questions that you might have. So welcome to the Plaza. This is normally where the hub of activity takes place on campus. There's loads of places to eat and drink with your friends with. There's also a bookshop and also one of the two other co-ops on campus. So behind me is a sports centre here at the University of Kent. There's something for everyone. There's a gym, fitness and dance studios, martial arts training areas, and even a physio clinic. With sport and fitness at the University of Kent, you name it, we got it. Not far from the sports centre, you have Parkwood Student Village. Parkwood is an amazing place to meet amazing people. I met some of my best friends here in my first year. There's other areas to live on campus, such as Keynes, Turin and Darwin. Parkwood is next to our campus pub Woody's, which is a great place to relax and socialise with friends. So across the street from Parkwood, you have the sports field under Pavilion. On Wednesdays, sports teams can be found training or playing against other unis. In quieter times, it's a great place to chill and keep to any social distancing rules. So we're back in the centre of campus and we're outside the Gulbenkian. The Gulbenkian is a place of entertainment here on campus. It's a cinema, it's a theatre, it's also got a music hall called the Collier Ferguson, which will all be open once lockdown has been eased. But the Gulbenkian has so many shows, whether that's comedy, theatre, dance, and if you're part of a performance society here at the University of Kent, you might have the opportunity to perform here just like I did when I was a student. So saving the best place for last, it's many people's favourite places on campus. It's the one and only, the campus green. It's got a wonderful view of the cathedral, plenty of wide open space, and what better view to have of the city of Canterbury.
Hello, my name is Timmy Olainka. Welcome to the University of Kent Medway campus. So beside me is the Drew Hall Library, the longest library in Europe. When I was doing my dissertation, I remember I needed so many resources. The Drew Hall Library staff were always there to help me whenever I had any questions. So this is definitely the place to be to achieve those top marks and to do some social distance study. Behind me is the Deep End, which is the student hub on campus. Every single day of the week, we have so many activities with our top performers, theatres and plays all being hosted at the Deep End. I'm just hoping very soon, in the near future, we can have some more. And behind me is the sports centre. It has a fully equipped gym and a large sports hall for volleyball, basketball and of course, five-a-side football. So close by are the Medway building and the Gillingham building, as well as the Medway School of Pharmacy. Inside the Gillingham building, we have the School of Social Policy, Sociology and Social Research, as well as the Centre for Journalism. Inside the Medway building, we have the School of Sports and Exercise Science and the School of Computing. It's also the home of KMTV, the university's part-owned local television station. KMTV offers a lot of students internships where I'm having an enjoyable time and developing myself for my future career. Pear Keys offers modern and suite accommodation to students. Each flat has about 5 to 8 students with a fully equipped shared kitchen. Pear Keys has a lot of social spaces and a laundrette. And if you're looking for a quick bite, then Pear Keys has Subways, Domino's and Tesco Express. It's a great place to live if you're looking for somewhere close to the Medway campus and popular sites around Medway. Medway has much to offer. Take Rochester for example. You can shop along the cobbled high street, take a trip to the famous castle or cathedral, and a journey to London on the train is less than an hour. Medway is also home to the historic dockyard Chatham. We're over here at the historic dockyard Chatham, which is a maritime museum. which showcases the unique history of the Medway region. This region has also been used for so many blockbuster movies and TV series sets. The University of Kent also has a presence here, and behind me is a galvanizing shop, which is a great location for the Kent Business School students and the music and audio technology students to enjoy some great food, time with friends, and live gigs between classes. I hope you found out a little bit more information about the Medway campus here at the University of Kent. If you're looking for any more information, please visit our website and our social media pages. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.